All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is October 29th, 2022. You're now watching Real Talk with Ronnie live. We're live right now. So welcome back to the fastest growing political talk show in New Jersey. I'm Ronald Lynn, your host. And, I know you're probably wondering why are we on a Saturday. Well, because, campaign schedule. Campaign. We are now, I believe, 10 days away from Election Day, with today being the first day of early voting here in Bergen County, New Jersey. And every day is jam packed. This morning we started out as a caravan for our campaign, for the county candidates, for Congress, and for everybody. So we started in Saddle River. We had a caravan, I believe, of like 20 cars, right? A lot of cars, vans, with all our signs and American flags and everything else. It was beautiful. We started off in Saddle River, went all the way down Route 17 South, finished at North Arlington. Met a lot of voters, and we had a great time today. After that, we went canvassing door to door in Fort Lee. So, my running mates and I, we are out every single minute of every single day of, every single waking moment to try to get our message out, to try to reach the voters, and try to bring it home this year for all of us. Okay. So tonight on my show, we have a very special guest. My guest for today is Mrs. Shirley Maia-Cusick, who is running for U.S. Senate from New Jersey in 2024. I know it's only 2022. We haven't even gone through election day yet, and we're already talking about 2024. Well, that's how politics works. So, we're very happy to have Shirley on our show this past week. And yep, so you will see the entirety of the interview tonight. So, for those of you who may not know, I have an event coming up this coming Tuesday, November 1st, which is 1 week away from Election Day. My event will take place at the great and lovely Portobello in Oakland. So if you're in the area, if you're free that night, stop by. It starts at 6:30 p.m. at Portobello in Oakland, Bergen County, New Jersey. All right, it's going to be our final fall campaign event of 2022, and we really hope to bring it home this year. Okay, so it's going to be a big year. We feel it's going to be a big red wave, perhaps a tsunami. So let's find out. But all that can only happen if you come out to vote. You know, last year voter turnout in New Jersey was, I think, roughly only 40%. If maybe 10% more voters came out last year, Jack Shirley will be in the governor's office today, and a lot of the loony policies that are going on in New Jersey stop. So your vote definitely matters. You need voter turnout. So tell your friends, tell your families, tell your neighbors, tell everybody that you know that they must come out to vote. Voter turnout is key. Every vote matters. It's a constitutional right. So please utilize it. All right, guys. So let me bring on my interview with this Shirley Maya. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Real Talk with Ronnie. On our show tonight, we have a real treat. We have Mrs. Shirley Maia-Cusick running for U.S. Senate in New Jersey in 2024. Shirley, thank you for coming on Real Talk with Ronnie.
Thank you to have me. It's very, very pleasure to be with you here.
Okay, well, Shirley, wow, I love your background and your sign. It looks very, very festive. So why don't you start off by telling our viewers a little bit about yourself? Tell us about your background.
Well, I consider myself an American entrepreneur because I always have a vision that America offer a lot to all the foreigners comes over here and invest and work. So I'm a very entrepreneur person, which means I chose to deal with immigration because I speak Spanish, Portuguese fluent, so it's easy to deal with those clients. So I build worldwide legal service.
Okay, great. So let's talk about your foray into politics. So this is your first run for public office, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Believe me, it's kind of like, even to myself, a surprise. Running for office, let's put it this way, it didn't came just yesterday. I built that in my mind, step by step, follow our government. And then I keep myself frustrating. The frustration came in a point that I keep voice myself with my friends, my business entrepreneur business friends, and I keep like attending events for our candidates. And with that being said, the frustration became like very, very big, and I started to voice out my opinions here, my opinions there, and all my friends and family, they said, you should run. So I decided myself to just jump in. Let's see what comes out.
All right, great. So let me ask you, why did you decide to run for U.S. Senate as opposed to perhaps Congress or maybe like a state level seat?
Yes, I decided U.S. Senate because U.S. Senate deal with the laws. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I'm not happy what they're doing there. So instead of just go and step by step, and also to help my state of New Jersey, I think it's a lot of issues which I can contribute to good changes. Let's see if I can, when that happens, if I really put myself in my effort as I did as an entrepreneur woman, to make some change, which I think is very valuable for us.
Okay. Now, Shirley, what is your ethnic background?
Well, what is that the question?
I asked you what your ethnic background is.
I was born in Brazil, and I was raised in Brazil until my teenager time. Then I started to travel. I went to Europe, and then basically I live more here than my own motherland.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Brazil. So what do you think of the current president there?
I hope he wins.
Yeah.
He's a Republican like us. He is very conservative.
Right.
His family value is very high. Also, he is very attached with this losing our freedom all over the world. He's very, very with his foot on his ground, which means he defends Brazil very, very strong, which means he is the right president. I hope he wins.
Okay, now when is that election?
The second round will be tonight. The runoff will be on October the 30th, which we're going to vote over all those Brazilian people going to vote over here in America to... we exercise this international votation, but the runoff will be on October the 30th now, 2022.
Okay, so as the moment of this taping is October 27th, and I hope to have this out by tomorrow. So that means that, by the 30th, that is Sunday. By Sunday, we should know, right?
I hope so. I hope so. I am really, really hope that he wins, because if he don't win, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll be very sad, because he is the right president, not only to Brazil. His communication with South America is very good. So I think he has a lot to offer.
Right. Now, the current polls there, are they kind of showing that he's up, down, tied, or how is it looking?
Okay, the opposer is very interesting. The opposer, he was accused by a huge corruption, and he has no preparation to be a president nor to run again. And he took advantage for some corruptions here and there, and it amazes me how he ended up being the candidate so far, which means in that kind of far end of the election. And Bolsonaro, Jair Messias Bolsonaro, the incumbent, he is not only military guy, but he is very religious guy, which his family value is very high. He loves to protect our Amazon, which is very important to us. So I hope he really wins.
Okay. But are there any current polls that are out that say which candidate is up or down, or?
It seems like they kind of like 50-50.
Oh, really? Okay. So it's like a coin. It's like a coin toss, right?
It's a coin toss. Let me tell you, that's gonna be like a very stressful day, specifically for all the Brazilians.
Right. Okay. So that means on Monday morning, you'll either be really happy or really sad, right?
I'm gonna be happy. I have hopes, We all have to thinking about and hope for the best, right?
Okay. Yep. Now, speaking of hoping for the best, let's talk about your race for U.S. Senate, right? So right
Yes.
now, 2022, you're aiming to run in 2024 against Menendez, right?
But
Now,
I want to unseat him.
right. Now, let me ask you: is it too early at this point to announce your candidacy, or is it just
No,
right?
no, 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 no. Since it's U.S., since it's a federal election, and also uh, um, U.S. senator through New Jersey, I don't think it's too soon because it's a big election. It's a it's a big job, which
Right.
means it's a lot to be done. It's the state of New Jersey is a big state. Then I have to just touch base with all New Jerseyans in order to just tell them who I am, what I'm going to do, what I propose to. So I don't think it's early. I think it's the right time.
Okay. Now, speaking of your potential opponent, news came out today that he is potentially under the investigation of the, I guess, of the DOJ, right?
Yeah,
So, what are your thoughts? Do you
federal
think?
investigation.
Right.
Well, if he is guilty, he should be held accountable. And I'm eager to see what comes out of that.
Right. As I recall, I think it was a couple of years ago that Menendez was also under trial, right? But in
Yeah.
that case,
And
there-
he settled. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, I believe there was a mistrial, right? There was a
Mistrial.
mistrial, and and he won his reelection bid, I think, the following year. So I think in Jersey, it's only in Jersey where a U.S. senator can be on trial for corruption, and then the very next year win, right?
Isn't that something?
Right.
Let me tell you. That is one of the reasons motivate me to run for U.S. Senator through New Jersey, because we got to change this pattern.
Right. Now, what do you think are his biggest weaknesses going into 2024?
Let's put it this way. We're going to talk a lot, and I prefer leave this answer for another opportunity, because to be honest with you, I want to see what comes out. And as I said, if he's guilty, he should be held accountable. That's the most important.
Fair enough. All right. So Shirley, why don't you tell us about your platform? Like, what do you want to do once you get to the U.S. Senate?
Well, let's put it this way. That's the first time I'm running. If it's that the first time I'm running, I offer to my state that my loyalty, my hard work, and to be faithful and work together with my constituents in order to see what is the best for my state. Basically, New Jersey, it's known as a very expensive state to live. Also, now with this Democrat government, it come out with so many things which go against the family values, putting the parents in between. Let's put it this way: get the parents, taking the rights of the parents to be parent and live after the school. That's their proposal. After the school to teach to be parent and to teach the academics. So it's a lot to work. It's a lot. Also the safety. Also, one of the points which I love to touch base with the state of New Jersey is the EMS. Do you know EMS, the ambulance, they are not considered like essential service? The government don't pay them. That's another thing I want to support, because if they don't receive the funds from the government to attend us, how do you expect to be fair to call the 911 and have the ambulance go to your house? It's out there in the state of New Jersey and other states, a lot of things to do. It's a lot of work to do. My proposal is to be faithful, to be honest, work together with my constituents in all kind of matters which we can make the state of New Jersey a better state.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Shirley, you're currently located in Hunterdon County, right?
Yeah, I reside in Hunterdon County.
Okay.
My office is located in Short Hills.
Okay. So, have you been to many counties yet, or just a few so far?
A lot. I walk a lot. 2022 was a journey to support my candidates like you.
All right, thank you
And
so much.
I just follow and support all the candidates in all kind of counties. And to my surprise, they it's so warm. People just it's so receptive to have a woman, a Latin woman running for this chair at U.S. Senate. And I try my best to not be like the light of the any event, but I get myself surprised. But I support 2022. I support all the candidates, all over the state, all the counties. I love it, and I love my state.
All right. Now, are there any other current candidates that have announced their intention to run for U.S. Senate?
None.
None. Okay.
None. Nobody. And to my surprise, the response instead is very, very it's very positive. People, all the counties, people just love the fact that I am running, and it seems like I don't know if we're gonna have any surprises for anybody. Just open their candidacy on the next year, but until this moment, nobody.
Right, I do believe that there is one other candidate who announced. His name is, I believe, is Dan Cruz, and I think he lives in Sussex County. I think he's one other candidate who has announced. I'm not completely sure about that, but I believe I heard through the pipeline that there is another candidate. So
great for GOP. Let's get to know him and let's talk. Let's debate.
Okay. Now, suppose you win U.S. Senate, right? What is your first order of business when you get to Washington, D.C.? Like, what would you like to see done first?
I like to discuss the living cost in New Jersey. That's my first bottom line. Also, I want to discuss the Second Amendment. And also, I want to discuss the safety to live here. And on the same token, to discuss the value of our blue, which means our law enforcement has to be like, they are good for us. You don't punish the whole department for 2 bad apples. That's not what we do. So, which means we have a lot of things has to be done, but the bottom line, the living cost as my first priority. And my second priority for sure is discuss our safety and the inflation. We have to touch base of all the points which we can have a low inflation, no inflation, low living cost. 2016, 18, 19, and 20, we were good here. What happened? Why the government let it go, and what's going on? So we have to review all those points. We have to discuss that.
Right. I think those are all very, very valid points and points that people care about. Like, for example, this year, right? The themes that my campaign and my running mates are hitting on are crime, inflation, and our children, right? When it comes to the education system. And I think these
Why
are
touch our children? Why touch our children? Why the government has to put the 2 cents in our children? Leave our children alone.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to deal with this. Our children is okay. We're not. I think it's very important to preserve our children. You don't want your children to go to school and on the 5th grade decide what kind of gender they want to be. Leave our children alone. Let the school with the responsibility to teach the academics, and let the parents be parents. That's all.
Right. Yeah, but the Democrats of today, they tend to vilify parents, right? They want the parents out of their children's lives, and
we don't want that. We're gonna fight. We don't want that.
Okay. Now, speaking of this election, what are your predictions about this election? What do you think will happen on November 8th? Will there be a
We're gonna flip.
red wave?
We're gonna flip. Yeah. We're gonna flip bad. Mm-hmm. We're gonna flip so bad. I'm so positive on that we're gonna have a new speaker in the House, mm-hmm. and then we can discuss things different. So 2022 right. Gonna give us a big difference. GOP, it's working hard, and also walking the state of New Jersey, I heard for many Democrats that is totally unhappy with this come out for this situation. So we're gonna flip. That's my prediction. We're gonna flip beautiful. and we're
Okay.
gonna be the winners there in order to start our steps to the right thing, to the right direction. That's
I
what I
really
predict.
hope so. What about predictions for U.S. Senate? Do you think that we'll take the Senate back, or what do you think?
We're gonna take it, and I'm looking forward to Pennsylvania to Dr. Oz, and that is a ridiculous situation, but I hope he really gets the seat, and I really hope that all the PA constituents, they just realize he's the best candidate. And for the Senate, I think so. I think we're gonna flip. And
Okay.
also governors and all and the municipalities and the state, I think we're gonna flip good.
Okay. Well, let's hope so, and let's hope that happens in Burlington.
And I want you to win that too.
Thank you, Shirley.
I'll
All right.
support you.
Thank you so much. Now, Shirley, what do you think? How do we get to the Latino voters, right?
Yes.
In recent years, they tend to be trending towards us, right?
Yes.
What do you think the GOP can do on a national level to kind of encapsulate more of those voters?
Okay, good question. When you talk about Latinos, in my whole life in America, I always notice that the Latinos, they get shy because the government, both parties, the Republican and the Democrat, they didn't pay attention to the Latinos. And they start to waking up and see what's going on. They vote. They have a voice, and they understand. They start to be more aware of what's going on. So Latino vote is very important. The numbers of Latinos we have in America is very considerable, which means especially in the state of New Jersey. And Latinos, their family values are so beautiful, and also they're so loyal. They pay their taxes, and the number of Latinos pay the taxes is so high. And I'm so like pro-Latinos, pro-Americans, and I support Latinos, the foreign, but they Americans. They are Americans. Let's forget about the illegals. The Latinos, those ones are able to vote. They're so loyal. They love America. If you ask them to do like anything to hope to fight for America, they're there immediately. They are very important to America. We have to pay attention to the Latinos. They are a very high percentage to help us to flip this, and they're willing to do it. And I'm talking to them all the time, and guess what? They're gonna respond. Very beautiful.
Great. Now, given the fact that Latinos, like they've got strong family values, right?
Yes.
Strong, work ethic. So why is it that you think that in the past that Latinos have been with the Democrats?
Misinformation. I ask many Latinos, since I speak Spanish, so I can have a good conversation with them. You know what happened? When an immigrant became American citizen, so there, when exactly at the federal building, they can choose right there what they want to be: independent, Democrat, or Republican. It's a misinformation. So when they start to get more informed, and when they start to understand who is who, they start to flip. And they're Republican, they're not Democrat anymore. Majority of them, I ask all the time, everywhere I go, I meet any foreign, they flipping, they just becoming Republican, and they are very strong Republican with a love to America. They respect the flag. They know everything about America, which I admire. Do you believe Latinos know more the Constitution than the own Americans? That surprises me all the time.
Probably, and especially with our education system, today where kids aren't really being taught history, math, or science. That's very believable.
Yes. And very respectful. The family values. I go to church sometimes. Pastors invite me to go to the church and to help them to understand how to live in America. And I do I do a lot of social work with them. And the kids, they're very respectful, and they understand, and they follow the whole guidance for the parents. It's beautiful. It's kind of like an example for American, because Americans, when the kid hit 18 years old, they just leave the house. Contrarily, on the Latinos on the far right, they want to keep the kids because
Right.
they raise the kid with so high value. So, which means it's beautiful. But Spanish people, specifically more Brazilians, Spanish, Europeans, believe me, they are all with a high family values, and then they associate the family value with Republican.
Right.
They learn.
Okay. Now, suppose Donald Trump runs in 2024 for president. Do you think, if you were to get the nomination, would his candidacy, would it help you, or do you think it would hurt you?
Anything happens. Anything can happen. Trump, for me, he was our president for 4 years, and if he runs, I'll support him. If he don't, I think he left a legacy, and whomever become our president, I'll be there with them.
Okay. Do you have any personal preference as to who you would like to see run for president in 24?
I'm looking for the right person.
Okay.
That's my bottom line.
All right.
I'm looking for the guy which have a strong post and run this country as his house.
Okay. Well, it could be a guy or a girl, right? A male or a female.
Female.
Right.
Preferable Republican, please.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what does Shirley Cusick do when she's not campaigning? Like, what do you do for fun?
Well, normally I get a lot involved with my family. I have 6 grandkids, 3 daughters, 3 son-in-laws, so I'm kind of busy. But also I am in a point like to take my aviation pilot license, so I fly.
Really? You actually fly.
I fly. So
So you might be the first candidate who actually flies your own campaign plane, right?
Probably. So I am in the process to get my permanent license. I'm a student pilot, and probably in a few months I'm gonna be a private pilot. So that's what I do for fun.
Okay, wow. Well, that's a very risky, fun habit. So please be careful.
No, it's not. Believe me, it's fun. It's very safe. In a percentage of the ratio for death or accident, airplane is minimal compared to cars.
Oh yeah, of course. But the thing with airplanes is that if you do crash, then you're pretty much 1,000% dead.
So private airplanes, it's a small airplane. There's a small airports. That's a hobby, and also just to transport back and forth. So it's not let's put it this way. The checklist is huge, so you have to check like you're checking precisely if the airplane and yourself is safe, your passenger is safe. So it's very good.
Now, one question I always had for pilots who fly these small planes. So when you're flying these small planes, do you already have the parachute on, like just in case?
No.
Wow.
So private pilots fly Cessna 172, 82S, so fly those small airplanes, so no parachute.
Wow.
So parachutes, it's a special situation. The small aircraft doesn't have parachutes.
But I mean, you've got a spare parachute that's like next to you, right?
If you choose to have, but
Right.
I don't have.
Uh-oh.
My parachute name is God.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's the best type of parachute, right?
Yeah.
All right, Shirley, why don't you tell us, how do our viewers find you if they want to check out your platform and learn more about your campaign, or to even donate?
Okay, on my website, which you have over there, you can have more about me, my ideals, and how I'm looking forward to conduct my candidacy. And I accept any opinion. My website is open to anyone. Just drop a thought process over there in order for me to digest, and basically also to donate. help me out, because you running, you need your support.
Yep.
So we need money to pay the campaign. Basically, honest campaign, even though needs a lot of money, especially for U.S. Senate. So I count on my constituent to help me out to voice out what I have to offer.
And we have your campaign site right up here. It's Shirley
Yes, it's
for
Shirley4USSenate.com.
Right, Shirley4USSenate.com, the number 4, Shirley4USSenate.com. Now,
Yes.
Shirley, do you have an estimation as to how much money you will ultimately need to run a viable campaign?
Well, a viable campaign in my level is $20 million, $30 million. So our state normally contribute very well for other candidates. So I look forward to have the same support.
All right. So for all the viewers that are watching right now, $20 million. So start cutting checks, right?
You start cutting checks.
All right. Shirley, thank you so much for coming on Real Talk with Ronnie. It was a real pleasure and an honor to have you on. We wish you the best of luck in your campaign, and I'm sure I'll be seeing you very, very soon, right?
Yes. Thank you for having me, and I wish you all the best for your campaign. See you soon.
All right. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Hold up, baby.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was my exclusive interview with Mrs. Shirley Maia-Cusick, candidate for U.S. Senate from New Jersey for 2024. So still 2 years away, and that is a lifetime in politics, but never too early to start, right? So, please check out that interview and share with your friends and family, okay? All right, guys. So that's it for today. Tomorrow is another full day of campaigning. We're at, 2 or 3 different stops tomorrow. And of course, Monday is Halloween. So happy trick-or-treating to you and your kids and to everyone who's watching. We're going to be going door to door this week in different towns, campaigning at bus stations, train stations, supermarkets. You name it, we're there. Okay. So once again, please try to join me on Tuesday at my final fall fundraising event for my campaign at Portobello in Oakland. Okay. Until then, I will see you guys next week, hopefully at some point for our show. And hopefully I'll catch you guys on the campaign trail. All right. So, but most importantly, just make sure you go out and vote. Today is the first day of early voting. So if you want to vote early, vote. If you want to vote by mail, vote. If you want to vote in person, vote. Basically, I don't care how you vote. Just make sure you get out there and vote. All right. So election day is November 8th. Please, if you choose to vote on the election day, go out there and vote. We're 10 days away. All right. 10 days away from D-Day. And we're 10 days away from turning around Bergen County and New Jersey and the rest of the county, the country, for the better. Okay. Thank you and good night.